This video will go over the general navigation for the new EAGL IGX Loans and Grants Management System. To begin, on this login page, there's the option for the Opportunity Portal in the upper left on our top navigation bar. Selecting this will allow us to search through available opportunities before we sign in or register for the system. We can search by the opportunity name, a keyword, availability dates, or search for opportunities that will be available to specific organization categories. Once we've made our selection, we can then hit search and then see a list of those corresponding available opportunities. There's also the option to sign up to receive updates. If I want to be notified when new opportunities will become available, I could enter in my email address, check this box to consent to be emailed about those opportunities, and then hit save. To return to my login screen, I can hit login in the top navigation menu. Also on this login page are links to Secure Access Washington, the Ecology Grants and Loans webpage, a public portal where I can view or download awarded grant agreements and their associated documents, and the public map, which is a mapping tool to view information about grants and loans managed in the EAGL IGX system. Now we're logged into the system. If you need more information on how to log in or register with EAGL IGX, visit the Ecology webpage. The first thing that I'll be taken to is my dashboard. On the dashboard, this public disclosure notice will let me know how information will be used on this website, along with a link to the Public Records Act if I need more information. There are also instructions that tell me which roles are able to initiate opportunities. And if I scroll down, I see that same announcements panel that was on the login screen that includes those links to the public portal and the public map. Above that is the View Available Funding Opportunities panel, which will only be seen by the recipient contractor and the authorized official roles. And above that panel is My Tasks, where I can see any documents that I'm currently assigned to. In EAGL IGX, you'll also be able to initiate a funding opportunity. To do so, you'll need to be signed in as either the authorized official or a contractor role. Once you are logged in as that role, you would then access the View Available Funding Opportunities panel from your dashboard. Once you have found the opportunity that you would like to initiate, you would select the name of that opportunity. Users that are assigned to multiple organizations will be able to choose which organization they would like to use when they are initiating that opportunity. Once I have chosen which organization I would like to use, if I do have that option, I would then be able to review these details about which opportunity I'm about to initiate. Once I have reviewed those details, I would then be able to hit proceed to start that opportunity and be taken to the document landing page for the application. Once I get to that landing page, I would then be able to start filling out the forms of that application and eventually submit it. If I'm looking for an opportunity in this panel and do not see it, it may be because of eligibility, either with the role I'm attempting to use to initiate that opportunity or with the organization that my role is assigned to. If that is the case, contact Ecology for further assistance. At the top of the dashboard is our navigation menu bar. At the upper left is the Home button, which will take us back to this dashboard from any page on the website. Next to it is the option for searches. I can use recent documents to view up to 24 of my most recently searched documents, or I can go to specific search pages for either applications or reports and payment requests. On the right side of the top navigation bar are some buttons next to my username. This first button is for high contrast mode. Selecting this button will change the appearance of my website to be more ADA compliant. If I wanted to change this website back to its original appearance, I would select the high contrast mode button again. Next to the high contrast mode button is the button for contact information. This would give me the option to submit a support request if I did need some assistance. If I select Submit a Report Request, this pop-up will come up where I can choose my preferred contact method, the category of my support request, who this request will be directed to, and then a description of that request. Next to contact info is training materials. This is where I will be able to access resources that can help me navigate through the EAGL IGX system. Currently, I have the EAGL IGX External User Manual available. Next to training materials is help. This will give me specific instructions about how to use the current page that I'm accessing in IGX. And then finally, on this right side is my username. Selecting my username will generate a drop-down menu where I have options for profile, messages, edit dashboard, support, and log out. If I select profile, this will take me to the profile for the specific user that I'm currently logged in as. From this profile page, I can see my user information. I can also see information for the organizations to which this user is assigned. Selecting organization information for one of those organizations will take me to the organization's profile. Only the authorized official can modify organization fields. I would also be able to go to organization members to see all the members currently active or inactive in this organization. I could use members search to filter through these results, or select one of these hyperlinks to be taken to the profile for the corresponding user. I can also see my organization's categories, which will let me know which opportunities this organization is currently eligible for. And then to continue going through those options, I can go back to my profile in the upper right and select Messages. In Messages, I will be able to see system notifications that have been sent out related to specific documents in the system. I will only be able to receive messages and not send them. To see information about a specific message, I can select the open icon next to that item and then scroll down to see the details of that message. On my drop down here, the final option available to us is to log out. Selecting log out will take us back to the initial login page.